cause for somebody to be depressed and to be slow and to not have energy and to want to even hurt himself or even kill himself is what is the outcome of thoughts that a person has a belief that he is helpless or that he's hopeless. It's very hard to be overcoming the thoughts of helplessness or hopelessness without religion, without God. There's a interesting story that I've just heard last night, a story about Yosef Ohana, the captive, that when he was in the captivity, and of course, they did not have a bed, they didn't have daylight, they didn't have a chair, they didn't have normal food, starving, they were in their own Holocaust. The captors, they would like to cause the captives to feel broken, psychological warfare. So one of the things they did was they put on the radio, and the radio was playing the prayers of the captors and the different Arabs that pray, and that would break the Israelis that were in captivity. So Yosef Ohana, one time when he was alone with the radio, he changed the channel a little bit, played with it. Miraculously, he went into some type of Israeli station, and on that station, on that radio, it said that the broadcaster was called up Yosef Ohana's father, and he shocked Yosef Ohana's father. He's being called by the radio. And the question that the broadcaster asks Yosef Ohana's father is, if you had one message to tell your son right now, what would you tell him? And he said that the message I would tell him is, don't give up. I love you. I care for you. And we believe that things are going to be better. Don't give up. That's the same thing that God, if we had to sometimes when we're going through our hard times, where we feel helpless and hopeless, and if we had to turn on some type of radio station where we could hear God, what God is wanting to tell us, what would be the message that we would hear God saying if we had one message to tell us? He would tell us, don't give up. He would tell us, I'm with you. It's hard for us to believe God has us in His mind when we're going through pain and suffering. We're going through hard times, we're going through tests, we're going through frustrations. God tells us that never a curse of a simpleton should be little in your eyes. We learn that from, one of the ways we learn that is from when Sarai Menu, she and Abraham, they tricked Avimelech, the king of Gerar. They said that Sarai was a sister of Abraham, and he married Sarah, and he got punished for it. When he gave Sarah back, he said, Hine heilach kesut enayim, it should be for you, covering of the eyes. Simply meaning to say that people will hear that he gave back such a big amount to Sarah. People would say, of course, he didn't sleep with her. He was recognizing how holy she is, and he gave her back. But the deeper explanation is, he gave 1,000 coins. He said, this should be for you as a covering of the eyes. He really was cursing her and saying that your child should have he's going to become blind. So we know that Yitzhak became blind. One opinion is because the tears of the angels at the Akedat Yitzhak dripped into his eyes. Another opinion is that the sacrifices to the Avodah Zarah of his daughter-in-laws, that the smoke went up and it made him blind. But here's the third reason, is because since Sarah and Avraham, they caused pain to Avimelech, and they were not in the right for doing so. They thought they had to do that, but it caused him pain. And when he was in pain, and even though he's a Rasha, he was a wicked person, but he turns out to God, God hears those prayers, God answers, and God makes a difference. Which comes to show you how much Hashem cares for us. You know, one of the laws that we have in our religion is that although Shabbat is the greatest thing to keep, the most important mitzvah, somebody who keeps Shabbat, Hashem forgives all the sins. But on the other hand, if somebody's life's on the line, Hashem says, my Shabbat is not important. If somebody is in the rubble, under a building that fell down, imagine in Surfside after that thing fell down, and there was a person that was there, and they see him under the rubble, and they say, you know what, we could give this person, if we pull him out of there, Mahalal Shabbat, that's great, the Shabbat, just to get him out of there, we'll save maybe this guy could have him only an hour to live. We say, you know what, we desecrate the Shabbat. You know why? Because every person, even an hour of a person's life is so important to God. If you understand this, that when a person's in pain, how important that is to God. When a person's life's on the line, how important that is to God. More important than anything, right? So Hashem listens to those prayers. If we could understand that, we could realize that we're never alone. And Hashem, if we just have the right station, we could tune in, we could hear Him say to us, hold on.